Hello, and welcome to Inspire Synergy. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon. They are one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz is a proud supporter of our podcast network, and we appreciate everything he does for us. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn men's legendary basketball player Jake Voskel. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large and small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you suffered any type of personal injury, a slip and fall, a car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut, and he will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance and owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. Trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls from the ground up in the sport of their choice, helps them to reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. He has a 5,000 square foot state of the art facility in Connecticut. To work with the best, go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are with Razul Wallace, the House of Changes. Great to see you, sir. Great to see you.
You too.
So, first of all, I'd love to know how the event went last week, December 5th, the training event with Lieutenant Kevin Dillion.
It
Seemed
was
like a great guy.
no, it was great actually. It was very in depth, very educational, and it was like impactful. So much so that one of the things that I'm going to be working on, because I want to do more programming in the house. Um, so we have this idea which we got from Ed Andrews at a script in Hartford, where um, it's like a re-entry program where guys come out and we focus on just their trauma for the first month or two, and then from there you go to workforce development, and then from workforce development you go to independence. And I know he has like put into the goal is that he wants it the first in the beginning, basically, like they don't have to worry about paying for expenses, right? So it's like sponsored and it's covered, whether it's a grant, wherever the funding comes from. The goal is to get them in, kind of put them in an environment that's low stress, and they can just focus on their mental health and well-being, and kind of increase and grow from there. And then after that, focusing on their financial well-being so that they can then move on to independence. So um, I really like the model, and there's funding available for it. So I want to make his de-escalation kind of a part of the curriculum with that trauma series.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we're going to be working on. And I think that we'll be able to get funds to do that. So I'm excited because since he said it, the first time he said it a few months ago, and I'm going to connect with him probably after this call. about bringing his program to House of Changes.
What was the biggest thing that you would say that either you learned or the people who were there learned about some of the de-escalation tactics that he promotes and he uses?
To summarize it, it's easy to summarize. The summary is when you feel yourself escalating, stop and take a deep breath.
That's very true.
But he breaks down like the science of it.
Yeah,
he
mind
kind of
fucked you. I love it.
no, I loved it. I loved it. But it's such a small thing, but it's so significant.
It is. It is.
And with it, I think the biggest challenge is creating awareness around the moments that you're escalating. Because you're so in it, you don't even realize that you're escalating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you lose yourself.
You lose yourself. So the biggest challenge and why I think it's a process is to gain that awareness and say, I'm escalating. I got to stop, take a deep breath. And then that helps me to act out of logic more so than anger or frustration.
Emotion. Yeah, you got to get emotion out of it.
So it's simple, but it's like this process of really figuring out how to like integrate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My question is, did he give any tips on how to identify when you're reaching that moment, when you're losing yourself, and it's time to take that deep breath and try to focus on de-escalation?
He did.
Because the awareness of that is huge.
It is. He did, but I missed some of it. Well, because I was having the event, I was in and out, I was back and forth, kind of, you know what I'm saying? So I missed bits and pieces, but the stuff that I did catch was very impactful. So I think what I'm gonna do is, because at the training we had a lot of like local community partners present, and I think a lot of them would be interested in being trained on like how to like. And then he has a curriculum that's actually, I think he said 15 2-hour blocks.
Yeah.
Actually, like where you kind of he structured it different ways depending on his audience essentially. But I want to take it and kind of apply it to, re-entry, mental health, like all, because it's very applicable to like everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it fits in every aspect of life.
Yeah, no, it is. I feel like they should teach it in schools. My girl's been saying it for years, teaching about, because a lot of it is psychology based.
It is, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they should teach it in schools because it would eliminate a lot of problems, a lot of issues with bullying, a lot of the fights that occur over just stupid shit. And if people were able to recognize and have the awareness, okay, this has gone too far. If I take this to the next level, what are the consequences? If I take a deep breath and de-escalate, things are going to work out a lot better for me. I mean, that's the main thing, because the consequences of taking it to that next level can be catastrophic, as we've seen in other instances. That's what I see.
No, it's 100%. It's like what you do in a heated moment can like impact and affect you for life.
Yeah. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, it can change everything. Were any of the men able to be present for this?
No. So I think that is a consideration too. Like, how do we facilitate more of that without forcing it? But I kind of feel like
I think something like that, honestly, would probably have to be mandatory.
Yeah.
But
the other thing is too. So the other thing is too is a lot of the guys work, right?
Yeah. No, I know they have different schedules and it's challenging.
But I think the guys that aren't working, we could have mandated to, because we're very much engaged in the day-to-day with them.
Yeah.
And I think it does have a lot of value that way.
But have you had? I mean, I talking with Marcus. I mean, he didn't seem to indicate that there have been too many problems or issues in the house with the men themselves. You know, with arguments,
No,
fighting,
no,
disagreements.
no.
They get along fine.
You're correct about that.
They
That
just keep to themselves. That was his only thing.
right, and they. It seems like I don't gun shy maybe, or they just are reluctant to engage to some degree.
They are, yeah,
Yeah.
they are. They are. It's
But no,
a
conflict.
test.
That's true. There has not been like the minor things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but no significant like squabbles or anything like that. But I think the de-escalation is if ineffective, but I don't know that it fully encompasses what the training is. You know what I'm saying? That titling.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's a deep program. I mean, it really is a deep program.
yeah.
That's what I got from it. And just talking with him and the psychology behind it, how he's able to change the narrative of your thinking with just by asking questions differently changes everything. You know, the way you phrase things, the way that you address people, it can completely diffuse the situation. And that to me was I mean, it was a huge learning experience and monumental to me to hear that just by changing the way that you talk to someone, the way that you ask a question, the way that you address someone,
Yeah.
can diffuse and change the entire situation.
So I'll give you one example of something that he said that was phenomenal, and it resonated with me because I've done sales in the past.
Yeah.
And what he said was also taught in sales is that when you're in a situation and you're looking to de-escalate, he said you have to ask open-ended questions.
Yes.
Because it takes them from their like animal brain back into their logical brain.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Because they have to actually take the time to think of it can't be a yes or no question because yes or no, it has to be one where they have to formulate an answer to it. But same thing in sales is because you really need to engage your customer or client, the open-ended question helps you to engage and connect with them.
It does.
In a way where they have to kind of reflect and give you feedback and you get insight into what it is that they want and need so that you can serve that as opposed to you just trying to like sell them something. You know what I mean?
And you keep the conversation going, which I think is a big deal. You keep the conversation going. The open-ended question is what makes them think. And I think it takes attention away. Like you said, our brain, we struggle to process two things or multiple things at the same time. So the open-ended question will focus their mind on answering that question and really thinking about what it is that matters to them and how they can answer it. And it's going to take away from their mind why they're angry, why they're upset.
Yeah.
That is hugely important. And if there's a way for you to implement that into the program, I think that's great. I think that's incredible for the guys to learn. And I like the idea of doing something like that and then, get them comfortable and then you can go towards the workplace development, focusing on that, focusing on getting jobs.
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really good plan. But, I talked with Marcus and it is a huge accomplishment and a celebration that you guys have been open for a year. You made it a full year. And, you made it a full year. You didn't you didn't take major losses doing it, and you helped the community.
Yeah.
I think that's really valuable. I think that's I just think it's such a powerful statement to show, you're giving back to your community, where, you could have done a lot of other things,
Yeah,
because that house, I've heard, is beautiful. You could have done a lot of things with that house.
it is.
You could have Airbnb'd it. You could have rented it. You could
I used to
have done
Airbnb it. I did. I had
Yeah.
an Airbnb.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be doing the work that I'm doing, and it actually does take up a lot more time than I anticipated.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And
But it was
I know,
actually an Airbnb before I made
yeah, yeah, I'm sure it was. And it does take up a lot of time. It does take a lot of your attention to do it. And I know that you are all over the place because of your business. And I know it can be stressful at times to try to get there, to try to, because, what matters to you is showing your face at the house. You want to be visible. You want to be accessible to the men.
Yeah.
You want to earn their trust. You want to be someone they can talk to.
Yeah.
And I know that's important to you. And I know that's tough with everything that you have going on. So I think you're doing the best that you can do. I don't think that you're deficient in any way with the time that you're putting in.
Thank you.
But you have great people in place, in charge. That's what's important.
Yeah.
I mean, with Marcus, you have somebody you can trust, somebody you can depend on, and Marcus is interacting with these men on a daily basis. He knows. He knows who's having a good day. He knows who's having a bad day. He knows who may need some extra support. And that, to me, is what makes you and Ja and everyone, leaders, because you're putting the right people in place. You have a team. You're not going to be able to micromanage and do everything. You have a major project going on right now in Norwich, and it's a project that's going to change the city, the community, providing that affordable housing and building. That's huge. That's really huge. It's giving back. It's not a situation where you could have built a tower and luxury apartments and made a fortune. You wanted to make affordable housing for people who need it, because right now, that is one of the biggest crises in America.
Oh man.
We can't afford to live. Just a mortgage, quality of life. It's very, very, very difficult right now for people to get by.
And it's only going to get harder, Steve.
It is. It's only going to get worse. It is.
Only getting worse. For me, the issue is not. It's our whole monetary system, right?
Yeah.
Our whole monetary system is fucked.
It is. No, it is. It is. 100%. It is.
Yeah.
I know by talking, when we do the show with Laban, we do the show with Ned Vaughn. They say the exact same thing. For selling houses, buying property, it's just so extravagant to get approved for a loan, to go through that process. It's like getting an enema. They go through absolutely everything. And, the mortgages you're getting are tough. And, we talked about the 50-year mortgage, if that actually happens. And Laban was explaining that it would be good only if you're not going to pay it in 50 years. If you can pay it in 30 years, the interest rate you get, great. You should absolutely do it. But to pay it in 50 years, you're going to get taken to the cleaners. You have to understand that. So we talked about that. But no, I agree with you. And everything that you're doing with the house, is it currently full? Or do you have any beds open?
We do have beds open.
You do. Okay. Two,
And I
three.
think that I would say that we actually have four right
Oh,
now.
you do.
Yeah. We just had one guy come back from a PHP program.
He did come back. Good. That's
He came
great
back.
to
He
hear.
seems way better, like night and day. You know.
That exactly.
So I'm glad that. And the
I'm
thing
glad
is,
you kept that for him.
yeah, we actually had another guy that was supposed to be there.
I know. Yeah.
We had with him. So we don't really know what is going on with him, but you can't.
Do
Guys
you
aren't
know
admitted, right?
do you know if he's still in treatment or no?
We haven't heard. So the one that came back said he didn't see him there.
Oh, okay. So they went to the same place.
They were supposed to go to the same place, but I don't think he went.
Oh, okay. So you don't
We
think
haven't
he
heard
went.
anything back. So he still has a bunch of his stuff at the house.
He does.
Yeah, we're in communication with his family to say, hey, we trying to.
They can't track him down either.
Well, I got to follow up with Marcus because he was supposed to. He's the one that's following up.
Yeah.
The mom. So I have to kind of connect with him because we got to figure out like what to do with his stuff at the very least.
Of course.
But the last communication that we had from them was that he was there and planning to come back from the house.
Yes.
I don't think that's the case at this point in time.
Yeah, that Marcus was hoping for that, but he did say he was confident about one of the men. He was praying for the other guy. So I'm glad that you did get the one guy back. I'm thrilled that you held the bed open for him. I think that's huge. Yeah. And it goes a long way to show that you care and that you're willing to go the extra mile for these guys to do that. Did you? And he had mentioned, I believe another guy moved on to another apartment. Was that true?
Say that again.
Was there another guy that moved on to his own place? He mentioned that.
We had
a few weeks ago.
Yes. So one of the guys, actually, he was one of the first guys that came in. He was there just about a year.
Yep.
And he moved out and got his own place.
That's great to hear.
He was like an ideal resident from beginning to end.
That's great. That's great to hear. And that's what you want. That's what you want. And I think you're going to build a foundation, starting with the house. And I think being able to provide affordable housing to men who either complete the program that you want them to, the men that feel comfortable enough to move on, you're going to have, options for them to go to, which is big. And I think that can be part of the program. So you're really adding to it. And because that's what I kind of talked to Marcus about, was being a treatment facility as opposed to a sober house. And the PHP, perfect. I think that's the best thing. I think that you should partner, and there's several facilities that I know are looking for beds because insurance runs out. They'll give you a bus ticket. You're on your own. Yeah. So they will work with houses and try to place people. So, any of the facilities that do you work with any directly in Connecticut? Would you say that you would have a relationship with or communication with?
So like the one that the guy went to the PHP for, so I still
yes.
We have established a relationship with them, and I think that
good.
I don't know that they've referred anyone to us yet, but I think so as of right now they seem like the best option for us, and they seem to be pretty effective.
Good.
So I think that's one area we have to work on is like our marketing, getting our name out.
We can do that. I mean, I know several places. I know several places in Massachusetts, detox centers and rehab facilities that are always looking for places to send. I can say, especially the place that I was at, Gatehouse in New Hampshire, they would look for a place to send people because they often get stuck. They often get stuck in situations where insurance runs out and they don't give you much of a grace period.
Yeah.
So I think that would be phenomenal. And I
Say
was
that again. What's the name of the place?
The place I was at in New Hampshire was Gatehouse, and I would
Gatehouse.
Yeah, Gatehouse. I still know people there. I would contact them. They have the full deal. They have case management. They have mental health. They have doctors that they all partner with. So, but I know for a fact, they do have an IOP program, which is 3 months. But I know that they look to place people, especially people who can't do IOP, and they would, they drive 8 hours to pick people up at detox facilities.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Wait, they're a detox facility?
They're a treatment facility. They're a treatment facility.
So they would drive to.
They picked me up in New London, man.
Wow.
In the van, yeah. They drove to New London and picked me up.
Oh, you gotta send me that info. I mean, Stonington Institute has been great, but I do think it's good. I think it's really good when you can get them completely out of the area.
Exactly. Yes. You don't want them to have any contact with people there. And you're exactly right. Because, had I gone to somewhere in Massachusetts or New York, absolutely it could have been different. You take me in the middle of freaking New Hampshire, I'm going to be fine. Yeah. So, I think if you get someone from New Hampshire and they're going to transport them to you at no cost, or give a bus ticket or train ticket to get them there, that's huge. Yeah. We can definitely do that. And the other, I mean, I would try to contact treatment facilities first. I just, again, the whole detox thing, I debated with Marcus, and Marcus was like, everyone's different. Some people can come out of detox and go into a sober house. Some people don't need PHP or an intensive program. But there's so many places that I know of, in Connecticut, Massachusetts, that, they struggle to fill beds. They struggle when people leave. And like I said, they have case managers that are pretty useless. I mean, it's amazing to me. They'll get them SSI, but as far as, like trying to get them a job, trying to get them a bed, they fail miserably at doing that. Yeah. So that's what's frustrating to me. And, I loved talking with Dr. Booker last week.
Yeah.
Amazing man. Yeah. Amazing man. He is someone I really hope you guys are able to work with and partner with. He is someone who's an advocate. He is positive. He understands the cycle, and he knows that positivity and support is what gets you through. So I would absolutely try to work with him. And then, you mentioned workplace development. Is that a possibility to get a partnership with them or be able to work with them?
I think so.
Okay.
You say the men that come to the house, we say that. So that is the long-term goal as far as like when I talk about increase in programming.
Yeah.
That's one part of it. Like I said, the trauma, the programming, the workforce development, and then like life skills and independence.
Right. Right.
Right now we have structure in the house as far as like a house schedule. Like,
yes.
Chores, curfew, random drug tests, meetings, work requirements, all that type of stuff, barring certain circumstances. But like when I say more in depth, I mean I want to have to like engage them more, and so that we're consciously investing more of their time into energy into things that are going to be like productive for them.
Life skills. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you there. Um, would it be possible to, get a case manager and, someone that can help the men, with jobs, with you fuck. He's going to come back, I promise. 4 comments. All right. Is this live? Yes, this is live. You're all finger be pepping asshole. Yeah, we do. I like to finger pep in the asshole. Stream a side room in my local post office. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I farted now and some sticky wetness. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I did too. You're back? Yeah, you're back. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Uh, I think that's great that you're able to do that. And if you can get a case manager on board, someone to help them, it was you did it. Now you're adding different components to it. Case management, the mental health component. If you're able to get a doctor, I mean, that you can work with a mental health expert, you can work with consistently. I did reach out to Latanya. I spoke with her a few times, man. She would be great. But I understand, it's not going to be free. I mean, you got to pay for this shit.
Right. So that's always the biggest challenge.
That's
bottleneck, time and money. But I would like, so first, I think that's something that's within Marcus's capacity. I think where I'm lacking is in my ability to create that structure. So I kind of feel like I'm kind of looking for someone that is like a program manager or someone that can help us to kind of like lay out the structure of what it would look like.
Of how you would do it. So ideally, if someone comes to the House of Changes, you would want them to stay a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. And during that time period, work on, like you just said, life skills, get treatment if you have mental health issues, workplace development, help you get a better job, and then eventually move on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you would like that done in a time frame, obviously, within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, I don't think you need to have them a full year. I think you can get it done in 6 to 8 months if you're aggressive with it. But yeah, putting together a structured program would be huge, and a program manager. But I think obviously fundraising is the biggest thing we need to get done. And that is something I talked to Ja about. When I had Trisha on with you guys, the raffle idea freaking works. I really think you could do the raffle. I looked into the Connecticut state law. I mean, you just print up some pretty raffle tickets and you sell them. Connecticut is affluent. You could sell them. I mean, we did it here in dog shit New York for $100 each, and 3,000 tickets.
Damn.
That's $300,000.
Let's talk about it some more, because I think you keep saying it, and I'm not opposed to it. I think the only thing is just the bandwidth to actually execute it. So I need to like sit down and talk about
bandwidth to execute it. The bandwidth was Trisha, myself, and like 2 other people. No, I mean
the people who. All right, we'd have to figure out who the other people are besides me and you. Who else there is to like?
Marcus. I mean, you have Letitia, you have Ashley. I mean, if people reasonably, what would be of help? Okay, if we could get you $50,000, Would that make a big difference?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to get you $100,000. But on the safe side, if we did 50 grand, all right, you sell 100 tickets, you give 50 grand away, you keep 50 grand. That's how you do it. Okay. And the bandwidth is the people that you have sell tickets, and then certain businesses or organizations that you work with, you partner with, and they sell tickets for you. That's how we did it. And they pay cash, or you have a way to process credit cards, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, you do.
Well,
Yeah,
I think so. But that's the thing. I mean, and you're talking about the people that help. I think one of the things that I'm conscious of is like people's time and energy. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And the fact that I don't know, I think we do, but it's something that someone else set up. You know what I mean? Being mindful of and respecting that, I think, is important. I should say.
Well, you have a board, correct?
Yeah.
It's something I would bring up with your board and say, listen, I've explored this opportunity. Steve Cully, asshole, you all know him. He has experience doing this.
Yeah.
I sold personally 20 tickets between my family and friends. Well, because they all love animals.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I sold 20 tickets.
You're an effective salesman. You don't have any.
I'm not an effective salesman.
No, you are. You don't have any qualms about. You don't even ask. You tell people like you need to go do this.
Well, I did that for your fundraiser, but yeah,
I appreciate it.
But if you got a few people to sell 10 tickets each, I don't think that's unreasonable. And then if you're able to get a few businesses to work with you, and it's easy, sell these tickets, just keep them here. Anyone interested, you put a sign up that says, hey, have an opportunity to win 50 grand from the House of Changes. And they pay in cash, they get their ticket. If they want to pay with a card, they have to call you and you process their card over the phone. That's what we had to do. Or they can buy them on location with a card at the House of Changes or your Scott Lewis real estate place. And I know it would work. And the reason I say it is just because it's low overhead. Right. I mean, think of the overhead you put in for the fundraising dinner. And so my thought is, Ja mentioned, and I think Marcus may have mentioned, doing a fundraiser in March or April.
Yep.
So that is why I think if you meet as a board, you talk about it, and you do this raffle, you have months to sell the tickets. I would, if you want to do 100 tickets, I think that's easy. And, I'm sorry, not 100, it would be, 100 tickets would be 100 grand. So 100 tickets, I think, is doable. And
how much you sell each ticket for?
$100 each. They're $100.
You sell 1,000. You got to go the other way. Sold 1,000 tickets will get you.
Oh, is it 1,000? Okay. Yeah, I'm bad at math. All right. I think you could sell 1,000 tickets, and that's 100 grand. We sold 3,000 tickets for a goddamn animal shelter. All right. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No. So everything you're saying makes sense, and I love the idea.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, like how my brain works.
I know how your brain works. You have a ton of anxiety, and you don't sleep. Yes. You're worried about your time management, and I know that you get stressed, and you have 14 kids and 2 wives, and I get it. No, I'm just saying, I honestly believe that it can be done, and you have a support system. I do. Why wouldn't we got
to find the best person to lead it, right? Because for me, when I hear it, what my next step would be is outside of my mind. Just like an events. I show up to an event and I'm like, I draw a blank. I rely on T, Ja, Ashley to tell me what to do, and I just do what they tell me to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I know you put a lot on Ashley. Ashley would be someone I would trust to run it. T would be someone I would trust to run it. I know Marcus has a lot on his plate, but I think he would be okay to run it. But it's someone with a little more fundraising experience.
Yeah.
And, Trisha would be a great consultant for you and kind of advise you on how to do it and different businesses you could approach on
Right.
selling the tickets, because that'll make it easier. So, like, your board with Uwe, Bellamy, I mean, those guys, even like
He's not on my board. He said,
I know, but
he said he was
you,
too busy.
I know he is, but Bellamy's moving up in the world. I know, but Bellamy, Uwe, Terry, you could go to Terry, Chris Hill, those guys. You say, hey, here's 10 tickets, sell it.
Yeah.
You're telling me that they couldn't sell 10 tickets? I think they could.
I'm sure they could. I'm sure they could.
I know I could sell 10 to 20 tickets.
Yeah.
And, I think, I understand you not wanting to put more on your staff, T and Ja and Ashley, and say, here, I need you to sell these tickets.
Right.
But I think you're not asking them to do it in 2 weeks. I think you're, asking them to do it over a several month period.
Yeah.
Isn't unreasonable. That's where that would be my thing. I don't think it's unreasonable to say, okay, it's December, we're going to do a fundraiser in April. Can you sell 10 tickets?
No, that's
and then the rest we put in business, and then we work with businesses.
No, but that's a very valid point, Kelly.
I mean,
it could be like just a part of the fundraising.
I'll show you the sign that we put up, and they were sold at businesses. And then what I would do is have it. Hey, is that yours? She's yours.
This is my baby, my sweet sugar.
All right. How old is she?
How old are you?
5.
5? You go to school? You go to kindergarten? Oh, you're smarter than me then. But I think you do that, and you could. The announcement could be at the fundraising dinner. You could do a dinner again in April and have the announcement. And you could either split up the prize money, 20 grand, 10 grand, whatever.
25. I can see that. I can see it a little more, like, because it can be a part of the fundraiser in April.
Yeah,
this is kind of like the
that's a draw.
The build up. I like it. We actually have to start planning that because we've been so busy with this
I know, with the project.
It's intense. It's pretty
intense.
I
know. I can't even imagine what you're going through. But Laban, if you have a day that works, Laban would love to have you on again to talk about it a little bit more.
I'm down.
We would love to. I know that we changed the schedule, so it didn't work, but we'll work something out to have you back on, because he wants to talk with you. He just wants to hear about it, because he was just, when I told him, he was so thrilled and wanted to talk with you. But I think that everything you've done has been great. I'm so happy to hear that the fundraiser went well. I love your thought process of putting together a program, a structure. And, I know that money's tight, and I think that fundraising will help with that. And at least, you can get someone in place to manage some of those other things that takes it off your plate, takes it off Ja's plate. I still think it's phenomenal that you're visible at the house and you're there for the men. And Marcus is a saint. I think that there's nobody better than Marcus. Nice. But keep doing what you're doing, and I think you've come a long way. And I again, just congratulations on really a full year, man.
I appreciate
Most
that.
most businesses fail in a full year,
I
and this was something that gave back to the community, and I'm just so thrilled that it's worked out. So
thank you.
I will play the rest of the ads, and I will say, Razul, just remember, for the house of changes, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take two oranges, throw them right back at life. Down south, we have Julius Williams and the Trench Mob. Julius trains offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments across the country and also go to college showcase camps. Proud to say they were undefeated at every tournament they attended. Every college showcase camp, a member of the Trench Mob was offered a college scholarship. He's in Decatur, Georgia. If you want to work with the best, work with the Trench Mob, www.battleofthetrenches.com. We have Ned Von Young, Fresh Fold Laundry Company, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, high-end laundry service. They have you book online. You put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, fold it for you at Land Speed Records. And they also have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly. They offer now a pickup and delivery service, so you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home. Again, washed, dried, and folded for you and returned to you within 48 hours. They also have an expedited service. They have deals for college students in the area as well. Check out their website, myfreshfold-laundry.com. We also have James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. For the last 3 years, James has dedicated himself to the art of financial planning. He specializes in insurance policies, mainly life insurance. He will make you a boatload of money, and he will do so tax-free. He understands the stress that comes with retirement planning. How much do I need? For how long? Do we have enough? Because fear of the unknown is real. To connect with James, you can go to his website, www.lutherjamesinsurance.com. Finally, we have Rob Hill of R. Hill Enterprises, Inc. Rob is an accomplished author. He is a speaker, and he also is an insurance mastermind, along with being a minister. Rob will put you in the right insurance plan for you. He understands the constraints and the rules that go with insurance, but he makes sure that you ask the right questions so you get the right answers. His main objective is to pull people's heads out of the sand, because that is what we're dealing with currently. To connect with Rob, you can message him on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or go to his website, rhillenterprisesinc.com. Again, he also does speaking engagements. He is a phenomenal insurance agent out of Chicago, Illinois, and you should contact him for any advice, even if you don't want to work with him.